This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2024 Starcraft GSL model. And the model number is 296 BHS. Okay, so this is not a sales video, it's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so you have power stabilizer jacks with this. I'll show you the switch when we get to it. This here is a quick connect for a grill or a griddle. So you connect it to the LP system. Okay, I'll just walk up here real quick and get a look at this over here. Okay, so you have two kinds of cranks here. Let me get this one out if I can. Alright, you actually have three. The one way down there, here. The one way down there fits right into your drill or your driver. But if you notice, this one has a cylinder with a slot cut in it. Okay. Now, if you look at the power stabilizers, this you can see has a shaft with a pin through it. So this crank with the cylinder with a slot will fit right over that shaft with a pin through it. So you can actually crank these manually if you need to get yourself out of trouble. Now, if we come over here, see what we've got here. This is your extend and retract. One switch controls both front. The switch in the back controls both of the rear. So you can see it right there. Very simple. But if it does fail for any reason, you can use that crank in there to crank it manually. Also, there's a 3/4 inch crank in there. This is a power tongue jack here. If this ever fails, you can pull this rubber plug out of here and use that 3/4 inch crank, and you can crank this manually also to get yourself out of trouble. So you can always get hitched and unhitched no matter what. And so it has a backup. This is a good thing. Okay, so anyway, you have a refrigerator back here, of course. Stairs that fold out. It has adjustable legs. You adjust them by pulling these inward. You can adjust the length of the legs. The reason you would want to do that is because you want this to be flush with this threshold piece here. So if you have it up too high, then the door will hit it when you're closing it. It'll bind up. So if you ever see that happening, you're just going to drop the legs a little bit to get it more flush. Okay. Outside speakers, power awning with LED strip. This is the vent for your range hood. You can see, if you can see, there's a baffle in there with a little latch. You can open it and close it with your thumb. So when you're venting to the outside using the range hood vent, you can open it up so it flaps freely. Otherwise, if you're traveling or in storage, you can just snap it shut. Okay. This is regular AC power. Okay. Your water heater is here. See what we got here. Okay. So this one works on both gas and electric. The switches are inside the trailer. I'll show you those when we get in there. So it has an electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So you can run it, keep the water warm or hot just by, when you get to the campground, you turn on the heating element and it'll just keep it warm. If you really want to kick up the heat fast though, you can turn on the burner and it'll give you a faster recovery. For example, if you're showering, you'd want the burner on. You drain it right here. It's an anode rod also, so there's a big long anode rod attached to the plug here. Remember, if you drain your water heater, which people do, I mean, it's pretty typical that in between trips you'll drain it. Just make sure you refill it before you turn on the heating element or that burner. You always want to make sure there's water in the hot water tank before you use it, so you don't damage it. Okay. I'll show you the switches when we get inside. Okay, bedroom door here, and that's just regular aluminum steps. This is prepped, pre-wired for a backup camera kit. This is a Furion kit, and it has a backup camera on the back wall, and then it has these side cameras, one on the door side, another one on the off door side. So you can get that kit if you're interested. We sell it here. You can get it elsewhere. Just make sure you get the right kit to fit this housing. And you don't have to have the 3 cameras. If you just want the backup camera, you could just get that. So keep that in mind. Your deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks, your power tongue jack with a docking light. Okay. We come around here. This is your sprayer here. This is used to hook to any of your spray ports for water. This is your dump hose here. This is a reducer for your short cord to reduce it from a 30 to a 20. This is plugs into your drill. It's a 3/4 inch 6-point socket, so you could use that on the tongue jack too if you needed to. If you had like a drill, so that'll be at the other end there. Let me slide it down there. Okay. Oh, one thing I missed is this does have a solar panel on it, so you have your solar controller right here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but basically this will tell you the stuff you need to know. Alright, so let me just, that's 79 degrees Fahrenheit, 13.3 volts DC in the system, so that's good to know. You got 13.3 volts DC. As it comes around again, you'll see that you've got 0.3 amps being gained and stored in your battery. So that's important to know. Right now it's overcast and the sun is behind clouds, so you're not gaining much electricity from the photovoltaic cells. So that's what it tells you. Also, there's a kill switch here, right? So you know, I'm trying to determine what it says here. Is it the battery or the solar panel? I didn't prep this. We'll know when you pick up. I'll find out for you for sure. Sometimes it's a battery kill switch. I believe this one is probably the kill switch for the solar panel, I would bet. But I'm not going to tell you the wrong thing, so I'll check into it for you. I'll know by the time you pick up, okay? Alrighty. So here we go. These are some dump valves here, black and gray. Black is toilet water and waste, gray is sink and shower water, of course. As we go farther, you got a 50 amp system. We give you the 30 amp reducer plus that 30 to 21 I just showed you in the front compartment. So it has a 50 amp system, which allows you to have 2 air conditioners, for example. Alright, this is your water docking station here. Okay, so the thing to know is right now this blue valve is vertical. So it's if you look at the drawing, it means city water. So when you hook up to here, you turn her on, it's sending water to all your appliance or all your faucets. Everything works. All the plumbing works. Now, if you're camping someplace without city water, you can go like this into this position, and it'll fill your fresh water tank. Then you can use the onboard pump to pump the water from your fresh water tank. So if you're camping someplace out in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have city water, you can pre-fill your tank and use the onboard pump to pump the water and still have all your plumbing work. Okay? This is your black tank flush. I showed you the valve for the black tank. When you dump the black tank, you leave the valve open, like it says on the sticker here, you leave the valve open. You hook the hose at the dump station right on here, turn it on. You have to leave the valve open so too much pressure doesn't build up. Anyway, you do that, it'll spray out the inside of your tank, it'll flush it out, clean off the sensors, that sort of thing, okay? And that's where that coiled sprayer I showed you will plug right there, okay? So that's that. And there's your rear switch for your stabilizers. You have a ladder which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states every 60, 90 days you should inspect the roof. So somebody should go up there and check the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or separation where water can get through. Make sure there's no damage done by, let's say, low branches or anything like that to any of the roofing attachments or material. You can't see what's happening up there unless somebody looks, so it's important to be part of your maintenance. You got to stay after it. Odds are you won't have to do anything for years, but you don't know that for sure. So the only way to find out for sure is have somebody check it out, okay? Also, there's the housing for the backup camera. We talked about that. What else do we have here? More storage back here. Okay, spare tire. Okay, so let's go inside here. Okay. So in here we have, you'll have to get used to your control panel as you go, but you can see you can move through all the different modes. Let's see here. Fresh water has got third in it. The gray and the black are empty. Your water pump is off. You can turn it on right there, for example. Now it's on. Okay, I'm going to shut it back off there. You have your gas heater. You have a gas heater in this one. That's off, but you can turn it on. If you go again, your awning and your slide rooms, in and out. So you can just go through the whole thing, and it's pretty self-evident after you do it. For you know, give it a couple looks. Like it says here, make sure you hook up your battery. You do have that, but you need a battery to run this control panel here. So never try to run your slide outs or your awning or anything like that without the battery on. It draws too many amps and it can damage the power converter. So make sure you always have your battery. All right. Okay, so your TV is here now. Your TV does swing out here, so it's on a swing out bracket. You have your JBL system here that has 2 speaker zones, A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside of the trailer. It does Bluetooth, so you can stream from your phone or your tablet. It has AM, FM radio, pretty much everything you need and then some. So you have that, and there's remotes for that also. I'm trying to see where he put the remotes. Let me look around here. There's one. That's the Fireplace remote there. Here we go. Okay. So this is the JBL remote here. This one's the TV remote. And then this one here is your Fireplace. The Fireplace is a space heater. It works off of regular AC campground power as a remote. So you can see the fan is off right there. If I hit it again, it's going to be low. So now I can feel it kicking out the heat. Go to high, it's really kicking out the heat, right? So it's a really good space heater. You can also change the color of the crystals. You can change the flame if you choose, okay? And there's also a timer, so you can set it to turn on and turn off whenever you want it to. It's a very good heater. If it's not quite cold enough to where you need your LP furnace, you can run that, and it does a really good job. Okay, so your refrigerator is 12 volt DC, so it runs on 12 volt DC. This one also has the doors that open either way. Okay. Your microwave is here. Your range top with the fan is here. Remember I told you about opening that baffle on the outside if you're going to run the fan. Also has a light. You have, I don't know if he's got the gas on or not, but we'll try. You have 3 knobs here for the 3 burners. This is the oven. That's the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. Yeah, so he's got that hooked up. That's plain as day. You also have lights here. Okay, oven light and ambient light. So ambient light. So the pilot light is all the way at the bottom to the back. Maybe you can actually see it spark. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it spark back there. So you go to the oven knob. You go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot. Then you depress it. You keep it depressed through the whole lighting procedure. You start sparking it until it lights down here. Once you see it light, you're still holding it in. You hold it in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to whatever temperature you want, and it cycles as an oven does. When you shut it off, the flame goes out. So does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this in the down position, this cover. Otherwise it'll break eventually. This is your power converter right here. We talked about that a little bit. So this converts AC to DC power. So on this side, when you're plugged into shore power, you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers, just like you see at home, and they're labeled, right? So that's your distribution center, your box like you'd have at home. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got 12 volt fuses and a couple of breakers, and they're all labeled. So it's converting shore power, which is 120 AC, to 12 volt DC here. Okay. It's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your battery on the tongue has and needs, and it'll, as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll send as many amps necessary to charge your battery. So it does 3 things. When you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle's alternator will charge the battery. When you're plugged into shore power, your power converter here will charge the battery. And the solar panel charges it as it can, depending on the time of day, the climate, the weather conditions, all that sort of thing, okay? Alrighty. Let's see if we've got anything here for you. Nope. Okay. Okay. Your keys are right here on the sink faucet. Your packet has all your literature in it right there. Okay, let's see what else we have in this room. These are your theater seats, or if you just want to call them recliners. They're powered, as you can see. You can power the back and the footrest that way. This can be turned into a bed, so you drop the table down onto these black cleats that you see, and then use the back cushion to fill in the space. You got an extra bed. Let me look real quick here. Okay, so here you have two bunks back here. Pretty self-explanatory. Just got all the shades down for some reason. Okay, and I'm looking for the thermostat. Let me see where that's at. It should be right here, maybe. No. Oh, I see. Oh, that's right. Your thermostat is on here, I believe. It's part of this. Let me make sure. Yeah. So yeah, your thermostat is right here. It turns on your air conditioner or your furnace, depending on how you set it with the temperatures outside. All right. Bathroom. Most important thing to remember about this is you always want to latch this door into this fixed position using this latch here when you're traveling. If not, it'll slide back and forth, and it'll eventually, one of the panels or more will eventually break. If you keep it latched, it'll never break. So you never let them just rattle around and slide back and forth when you're traveling. You always latch them into place. Okay. The toilet is typical RV toilet. You have a flush pedal, so when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you're going to put a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Step on the pedal, hold it down long enough to put at least a gallon of water in the tank along with the chemical. Then you're all set, ready to use it. If you don't do that, if you don't use the water and the chemical, then it'll get clogged up, it'll smell terrible, it'll just be a mess. So you never run it without at least a gallon of water in the tank. You can have more, just not less, and a dose of chemical, okay? Alrighty, so you have that. Go into the bedroom here. Of course, there's another entry door here. Let's see what we have here. So this is pre-wired, I believe, for a second air conditioner, right? That's why it's a 50 amp system, just so you know. It would drop right in there if you're interested. This is telling you that this is pre-wired for you can see it says 5G on it, which would be a monthly payment plan, but most people use this for the public Wi-Fi booster. So if you wanted to scan this and see what the product is, it's pre-wired. It consists of an antenna on the roof and a router box that fits right there on the ceiling. It just gives you a better Wi-Fi signal, public Wi-Fi signal, so your family just has better internet, free internet when they're traveling. So that's something you can look into. It's an option. Of course, your escape is right here. You push it all the way through. Then you grab a hold of the tab and pull the screen out to escape in an emergency. Okay. A little bit of storage underneath the bed. You have a backing plate here for a TV bracket and hookups here, so you can put a TV that you can watch while you're laying down. And then, of course, a wardrobe here. This is also pre-plumbed and wired for a washer-dryer combo. So keep that in mind. If you wanted to add that, you can add that. Just depends on whether you'd rather have the storage space or the washer. I think most people generally go with the storage space, but it's up to you. Let's see what else we have here. I think we've covered it. Let me look around a little bit. Okay, so that does it. Okay, So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Please remember what I said about inspecting the roof every 90 days at least. Make sure there's nothing happening up there that you need to know about. And right now this is in camping mode, so the antifreeze has been purged from the system, replaced with fresh water. Your water heater valves are in camping mode. The valves on the back of your water heater are in camping mode. And the water heater has water in it, so you're all set for the rest of the summer until you winterize the trailer in the late fall or early winter. So you're good till then, okay? Any other questions you have, you can ask them when you pick up, and we'll go through whatever we need to go through with you, okay? Thank you.